So let's have a thought experiment.
All right, let's do this. What do you have for me?
I would appreciate it if you would watch the following video attentively. Afterward, I would be grateful if you could share your insights regarding the type of individuals this passage seems to resonate with most.
All right, that doesn't seem so hard. Let's get started.
Deuteronomy 28. Your sons and daughters will be given to another nation, and you will wear out your eyes watching for them day after day, powerless to lift a hand. A people that you do not know will eat what your land and labor produce, and you will have nothing but cruel oppression all your days. All these curses will come upon you. They will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the Lord your God and observe the commands and decrees he gave you. They will be a sign and a wonder to you and your descendants forever, because you did not serve the Lord your God joyfully and gladly in the time of prosperity. Therefore, in hunger and thirst, in nakedness and dire poverty, you will serve the enemies the Lord sends against you. He will put an iron yoke on your neck until it has destroyed you. The Lord will bring a nation against you from far away, from the ends of the earth, like an eagle swooping down, a nation whose language you will not understand. A fierce-looking nation without respect for the old or pity for the young. The Lord will send you back in ships to Egypt on a journey I said you should never make again. There you will offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves.
Wow, to be honest, this sounds more like the modern-day African Americans, rather than the people who are currently residing in what we now know as Israel. Professor, could you please elaborate on the content we just heard?
Sure. The argument is that the curses described in Deuteronomy 28, which were meant for the disobedient Israelites, perfectly match the historical experience of African Americans, especially during the transatlantic slave trade and afterward. It's a way of identifying who the true modern-day Israelites are.
Okay, what are some specific verses they point to?
A major one is Deuteronomy 28:68, which talks about being brought back to Egypt in ships for slavery. In this context, Egypt is interpreted as a metaphor for a place of bondage. The transatlantic slave trade transported millions of Africans across the ocean in ships to a life of servitude.
Okay, that's a powerful connection. What else?
Another is Deuteronomy 28:32. Your sons and daughters will be given to another nation, and you will wear out your eyes watching for them day after day, powerless to lift a hand. This mirrors the experience of enslaved people whose families were torn apart and sold to different owners.
Regarding the potential loss of identity, what are your thoughts?
That's in Deuteronomy 28:37. You will become a thing of horror, a byword, and an object of ridicule among all the nations where the Lord will drive you. The argument is that enslaved Africans were stripped of their names, languages, and tribal identities and given new names by their captors. Their heritage was erased.
I trust that the scattering is also a significant element of this. Is that correct?
Exactly. Deuteronomy 28:64 says, "The Lord will scatter you among all peoples from one end of the earth to the other." This is seen as a fulfillment through the African diaspora, where people were scattered across the Americas, the Caribbean, and Europe.
I can see why those connections are made. But why do people say this applies to African Americans more than any other group that has been enslaved?
Proponents of this view argue that no other people in history have experienced this specific combination of curses in the same way. The curses include being taken by ships, having children sold into another nation, the loss of identity and language, and being subject to a nation by whose language you will not understand. They point out that these details fit the chattel slavery of African Americans with a unique and chilling precision.
So, is the idea that African Americans are not descendants of Ham, but of the Israelites?
Yes, that's a central part of the belief. It rejects the historical curse of Ham narrative, which was often used to justify slavery by claiming that black people were destined to be servants. Instead, this interpretation asserts that African Americans are descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, who were punished for their disobedience to God's laws, and that their suffering is proof of their divine lineage.
Please share your thoughts and show your support for Mox by leaving a comment and a like. Stay wise.
Everybody for themselves, and if you don't see that you're blind. Anybody can sell out, everything got a price. You can't say you're better than a man who got life. Anybody can fall, anybody can rise.